My fellow enthusiasts and hobbyists, I welcome you to the first official Usagi Electric State of the Union address. Today we will be... What am I doing? This is a table. This isn't even a podium. What do you say we try that again? Hello and welcome back. And I could never be an actor. I lasted all of 5 seconds before I erupted into laughter. But it wasn't entirely untrue. Today we are going to do a State of the Union, a State of the Usagi. I like that. State of the Usagi. Pretty much we're going to talk about where I'm going to be in the coming year, and if you want to come hang out and meet me and see some really cool stuff in the process, maybe you can line your schedule up with some of those dates. But also we might take a look at some of the interesting projects that we have lined up for the rest of the year. But first things first, I am going to be at VCF East. That is coming up really soon. It's in about a month away. It's going to be on April 12th, 13th, and 14th. I will be there for the full weekend. I did not get a table, so I will not be exhibiting, but I will be there for the full weekend. So come to VCF East, hunt me down, and hang out. Now, I did say I won't be exhibiting, but that's not entirely true because Sunday I think is going to be quite interesting. I've been talking with Jeff and Doug, the guys who are pretty much running the show, and they happen to have a Triad mini computer hanging out in storage, and the Triad mini computer just so happens to have a CDC Hawk drive on it, 9427H, just like the Hawk drives used in the Centurion. And so I think we're going to pull that drive out, put it on a table, take it all the way apart, clean it up, get it back together, and try to power it up and load the heads. And we're gonna try and do all of this on Sunday, and I think that's something that not a lot of people have ever seen in person before. So we're gonna do it on a proper table out in the wild so anybody can come out and see us working on this drive. I think it should be pretty fun. So if you're anywhere in the Northeast around those dates, come hang out with us at VCF East. It's gonna be an absolute blast. But if you can't make it to that, I totally get it. There's a lot of other places that I'm gonna be this year. Notably coming up in May, on May 17th, I've been working with Bob over at System Source Museum, and we're thinking that we're gonna do another open house, but it's not gonna just be an open house with Usagi Electric. We're also thinking about calling a good friend of ours, Corey, who is very well versed in early Apples, and we might do something with the Apple One. I don't know, we're still hammering out the details of that, but that is May 17th, so mark it on your calendars. Come to System Source Museum, and I think it's going to be really epic, whatever they have planned, because again, something that you don't really get to see that often. I'm very excited about it. After that, I've got a work trip at the end of May into June that's going to take me out of country, so we might miss an episode right in there. I'm going to work hard, try to get ahead so we don't, but I mean, you know, when you're 10, 11 days on the other side of the planet, there's not a whole lot of filming that you can do. Then later in June, on the 14th, 15th, and 16th is VCF Southwest. That one is local to me here in Dallas. The plan is to take the Mini Centurion with me. I had it there last year, but some things have changed on it. It's got a different Hawk drive in it, so we're gonna have to get to work bringing that Hawk drive up. We're on a CPU 5 CPU card and a 32K memory card. So we've got a ton of work to get that thing back up and show ready. So that's a project that's coming up in the future, and it should be on display at VCF Southwest. I hope it will be. If it's not working, I'll take something else. Maybe I'll take the TI-99 train or something like that. Or, I don't know, leave a comment below. Tell me what you guys want to see at VCF Southwest. That is here in Dallas. So if you're down in the southern region, make the way out. It'll be a ton of fun. After that, coming up in July, I've got another international trip. That one's going to be 2 weeks. Again, I'm going to try and film. I'm going to Japan with a good buddy of mine. That's actually not work. That's just we're gonna go have some fun. It's gonna be awesome. But there's some pretty epic places in Tokyo that I want to film, notably Beep, Akihabara, and maybe Super Potato, although there's a Super Potato in Nagoya as well, so I might film some of those. So that is the current state of where I'm going. So if you're going to be in New Jersey, Maryland, or down here in Texas, anywhere within a vicinity of those, check out the dates that are listed and come hang out with us. It's gonna be awesome. Now there's a couple other things that, while I've got you here, we should probably talk about. Projects coming up. We've got the miniature PDP 1123. That's what I'm going to start working on after I finish filming this. But hopefully we can get that Ads Envoy terminal up and going, and then I can build a custom case for the 1123, and that'll wrap up that project. And I can take it to local meetups here in the DFW Retro Computing group. But the PDP, I'm really kind of anxious to get that one out of the way because I really want to get into the PDP 1144. And I'm extra amped up about it because I recently got a new hard drive for it. It is a Fujitsu Eagle, which I think is 550 megabytes and 10.5-inch platters, all sealed. It's really awesome, pretty epic looking hard drive. So I really want to see that drive spin up, and I need to have something to plug it into, and I think the 1144 is going to be perfect for it. The Bendix G15 is chugging on along. We should be turning on DC up for it pretty soon. On the Centurion project back here, we've got the excellent EDS PC. That is, yes, the Ross Perot EDS. There's a really fascinating story, both about how that machine came into existence and how it ended up here in this room. So we're gonna dive in pretty deep on that full story, and we're gonna get that thing turned on. The hope is to run a terminal emulation program through DOS on it so that we can plug it in as a remote data terminal for the big boy Centurions. Now below that, we have another Hawk drive. So if there's a lot of Hawk content coming up this year, and we have a Phoenix drive, and there's a patron up in, I think, the Illinois area, so I don't know, somewhere up there that happens to have another Phoenix drive. So I'm going to work very closely with them. Hopefully we can get it down to here, and between the two of them, we can make one fully working Phoenix drive. That would be absolutely epic because that thing has 96 megabytes. But even if we can't get the fixed platter stack going, we might be able to finagle just the removable stack into going, which would give us 16 megabytes, but it would allow me to read all of the spare Phoenix packs that I have up top. Other than that, earlier I mentioned the TI 99.4. I might take it to VCF Southwest, and I love the TI 99, but I love it because of the processor that's in it. The TMS 9900 I think is a fantastic processor. And I have a spare ceramic TMS 9900, so I really want to build a homebrew system based around that CPUs. So late at night, over the past month or so, I've been working on a TMS 9900 based homebrew design. So once that's getting to a point where I'm pretty happy, we'll see some videos on it. We'll build it up on a breadboard and then maybe build some PCBs for it and try to build our own TMS 9900 based mini computer. That'll be, I think, pretty exciting. And since we're talking about homebrews, UE1 is very nearly complete. We just need to build the paper tape reader for it, and then we'll start executing code on it. And somebody left a comment in the previous episode on it asking what would be a great way to demonstrate it. And I hadn't really come up with anything. I was thinking maybe just to build an interface board to a teletype and just have it print a pre-stored message over and over again. But they mentioned that it would be really cool to maybe build it into a traffic light controller, which is what the Motorola MC14500 would have been perfect for. And I really like that idea. Maybe building a small kind of diorama that has essentially a traffic intersection on it with some lights on it that act as the traffic lights. So I think that would be epic. We have a full-on 1-bit computer running a traffic light program. That would be a perfect way to demonstrate that. The next kind of back burner project that I really want to get to is the Litton mini computer. The reason that we haven't done anything with it is because the Bendix G15 kind of showed up unexpectedly, so it took the Litton's place in our kind of monthly rotation of videos. But as the Bendix comes up and starts executing code and is looking really good, we're going to try and get that back up to system source and hopefully bring down the other drum so we can start working on resurfacing it. But then that becomes the back burner project, and our monthly rotation should shift over to the Litton. So I really want to get into it because it's kind of like a modern interpretation of, modern in all the air quotes, but a modern interpretation of the Bendix. But in order to get the Litten working correctly, we need some kind of input-output for it, which is why I happen to have the IBM Selectric composer sitting right above it. This should be able to be converted to be essentially a teletype, a data terminal, and I'm hoping to get it to do double duty as the data terminal for the Litten and the data terminal for the Data 620. I think that covers all of the big projects that we have lined up. I obviously just listed more things than we can do in a single year, but I don't know, I think we can make pretty good progress on it. So that was the state of the Usagi. If you are available at any of the dates that I listed for the events that are coming up, come hang out. I would love to see you and talk to you and chat with you. And before I go, you may have noticed that the audio in this episode sounds potentially a little different. And that's because a ton of people have bought t-shirts, and I don't make a whole lot off the t-shirts. I make like $1.50 to $2 off of each t-shirt, but enough people bought them that it allowed me to purchase a Zoom F2 microphone and recorder. The reason that I went with the Zoom F2 is that's what Derek at Veritasium used when he came down to hang out, and I really liked it. So hopefully the audio sounds great to you guys, and thank you everybody for buying t-shirts. That enabled this upgrade. And on the topic of t-shirts and merchandise, a lot of people asked about maybe printing something custom out on the Data 100 printer here and sending to them. They said they would pay for it. That's a really interesting idea. Right now the t-shirts are all purchased through a company called Spring, but I think it's time that we transition to a proper merch model where we're getting the t-shirts made locally and we're shipping them out, and then we can offer other things like stickers or custom printouts. Maybe you send a custom message, I print it out and ship it to whatever address that you have listed whenever you purchase that. We can keep the prices on those pretty low and affordable, and any money that comes in through that could go to upgrading cameras or microphones or anything to increase the production quality in here. I think the next big thing I need to go for is potentially some softbox lights in the corners to help the overall lighting in the room. So I don't know, that's uncharted territory for me. If you know anything about how to properly set up merch or got any good advice, I'm all ears. Hit it up. And finally, I want to thank the patrons. I mean, none of this is possible without the patrons' contributions. So all of their names are scrolling by right now. I thank you guys so much for that. It's awesome, and you're keeping us alive over here. So there we go. That was the state of the Usagi. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next episode, which should be coming out in like 3 days on Sunday. So thank you guys. Catch you later.